fans, we're doing a live recap right now. We're on YouTube, we're on our Twitter accounts as well. Louisville takes down Miami. Neither of us were expecting it. I thought Miami was going to cover the points. I thought Miami was going to win by double digits, dominate the line of scrimmage. Obviously, Louisville and their inability to run the football this year by the offensive line, just a lot of questions. So we're sitting back watching Louisville, the Cardinals, from the very jump, EMAC, just taking it to Miami early in this football game. I'll give you first go at it, man. Like, what are your initial thoughts about what just happened there down in Coral Gables?
Yeah, lots of breakdown, right? I mean, I think, first of all, you give credit to Louisville. My God. I mean, they played out of their mind, ran the football so effectively. And listen, both of us said that if you want a shot to win this game, you have to have balance. You have to be able to establish that run game. And boy, did they ever. Like Isaac Brown, I know he had the fumble there, towards the end of the game that maybe put it a little bit in jeopardy. But, man, for 99% of the night, that guy was unbelievable, super explosive, getting out, big, huge runs. Like Louisville ran stretch zone perfectly. And you know what I love too? I don't know if it was Brom or Miller Moss, but there was one time in particular on third down and long towards the end of the game where Mesidor and Bain were on the same side to the left, and they checked to stretch zone right. They said, okay, great. You're going to take those monsters, put them over there? We're going the other way. And they picked up like 15 yards. And so give credit all to Louisville and the way that they executed at a high level, and that defense, like they look awesome. I know statistically that they are where they are amongst the best. I mean, I think they are the best in total defense in the ACC right now. But on film, that wasn't really the case when they had played power teams. It was tonight. I mean, they had a plan, and brother, they were aggressive. I mean, both lines of scrimmages, which I thought no way would be dominated by Louisville. They absolutely were.
That's the base thing to me is, but I want to start with the offense first because I think that is the main thing when I look at this football game is the offensive plan early on. It was get the ball out of Miller Moss's hands. It wasn't deep drops. It was stay ahead of the chains. And we knew that was going to be the thing. Like we said, like if you're going to have any chance, it's not going to be, like I said, the running game was great, but it was going to have to be Miller getting it out, which he's done this year, quick hitters, guys have to make someone miss in the open field, and they did that. And I just did not know if you played a dink and dunk game, if you could be explosive enough in that style of offense to be able to move the football down the field to create points. But they did. They were able to get a 5-yard out, a slant route, a quick hitch, whatever it was, catch it, make one defender miss, and then a 5-yard gain turns into a 15-yard gain, to a 20-yard gain. So really applaud the game plan for the offense, getting it out of Miller Moss's hand, highly effective throughout the ball game. And then Chris Bell is an absolute monster, dude. An absolute monster catching the football, 9 for 136, 2 touchdowns. That second touchdown where he caught it, the explosiveness to then separate. Like to me, like the separation speed-wise, because he's physical, but the separation speed-wise afterwards was just as impressive to get in the end zone. So I thought the offense, first off, EMAC, was kind of the highlight for me going against Miami on the road in that environment.
Yeah, no, there's no question. And to give Chris Bell every flower imaginable. I mean, everyone in the stadium knew where the football was going, and nobody could stop it. I mean, he was electric. And you talk about that explosion. As soon as he gets the ball, boom, vertical immediately. That's something that, we can't stress to receivers enough, right? And you and I think we can't stand it. A guy catches it, he's dancing, go forward at a high clip. And that's exactly what Chris Bell did all night long. Was really fun to watch that. And man, just you mentioned the plan of attack, getting the ball out, of Miller Moss's hands. It was just tremendous, to see that and what they were able to do. And listen, this is what Coach Brom does. Like, this dude wins. Think back to all the Purdue games when he's playing Ohio State and they're number 2 in the country, and it's little old Purdue who has no business thumping those boys, and he has time and time again. There's something about the number 2 team in the country. You don't want to see Coach Brom coming down the track. Okay.
What's up with the Friday night games too, man? Like, is it just a Friday night thing too? I swear.
Well, I think, the ACC thought it was like a really cool thing. Get rid of it because all your great teams get smashed on Friday night.
God. I know. I literally had some guys this morning I was talking to before my flight. And they're like, I think tonight's gonna be a big upset. I think tonight's gonna be a big upset. And obviously, and I mean, I don't even want to get on my Twitter right now because I got a bajillion Ohio State
Listen,
fans. That
man,
just,
those Ohio State Buckeyes have nothing to talk about. Look at their schedule. They play nobody the
yeah,
rest of the
I
year.
guess I
Easy
can't say
street.
that.
Easy street.
Um, but anyways, I was like, no, there's not. Like, Miami's coming off the bye week.
Yeah.
Miami is the better football team. Miami's playing a brand of football
Right.
which I believe is sustainable and can win. I mean, all the things that we've talked about over and over again. I'm like, y'all are crazy. There's no way that Miami's losing this football game, and it's just the weird weekday games, man. Like, I
Right.
don't know. Like, you would think you would. And I don't
I
necessarily
know.
wouldn't say like Miami looks sloppy all around. Besides Carson, I think overall it's not like I'm not here to say like I don't think defensively they were super sloppy. I think Louisville just had a great plan. I think the only one to me
Well,
that was super sloppy was Carson tonight.
right. Well, and I think that's a natural, obvious reaction. He had 4 picks, and a couple of them were just horrendous. Like he has the check down, he forced them. 3 just weren't great, or 2 weren't great. 2 others were pretty unbelievable plays by the defense. The last one, I mean, that was a heck of a catch. And then I think
Yeah.
it was the second one. I can't remember where the guy just goes over the top of him. It was a crazy catch to see there. But I don't know, man. I might combat that a little bit because I thought early the defense did not want to tackle. They didn't want to tackle Chris Bell.
Yeah.
They didn't want to tackle Brown there running free. And I was just kind of looking at guys like, are we okay? Like, is everything good on the defensive side of the ball? Guys not wanting to hit. Now, they picked it up a little bit, but even still, and again, the offensive line got whipped, man. I mean, they were getting pushed backwards time and time again and we haven't seen that all year, from this Miami offensive line, or quite frankly, from this Louisville defense. And so I think it was just one team maybe taking a little bit for granted, maybe smelling the roses a little bit, and a hungry Louisville team, coming off of that loss to Virginia before the bye week there's that wanted to prove a point. And Coach Braun fired those guys up. And I will say, too, the penalties for Miami were nuts. And just when they happened, the timing of when they happened, man, it was not
Yeah, but
good.
Louisville has some
It could
bad
go the other
like
way.
some of these penalties though, with like roughing the passer, just drive me crazy. It's just the
Dude.
college football nowadays with how soft we are with quarterbacks. You can't
Yeah.
touch them, and obviously balls don't lie because a play or two later, Carson ends up throwing an interception anyways. But can we just enough with quarterback gets hit just as he's throwing the football, the penalty comes out. It's like, man, it's football. These dudes are going to get hit. You can't tell a 300-pounder to just stop on a dime when he's running full
Correct.
speed to try to get after a quarterback. So,
Correct.
I think penalties, that penalty obviously steps out to me, but I do agree Miami was a little bit sloppy in that category. I do want to talk about Carson, though, because that is going to be the big topic. That's going to be the big discussion. They said on the broadcast, the most experienced quarterback in the country heading into the season, and he's looked nearly flawless this year. I've been really impressed with Carson coming off the injury. New receivers, a 17 to just turned 18-year-old receiver in Malachi Tony. Like, there's a lot of chemistry that has to be built. There's a lot of timing. There's a lot of understanding the offenses and the nuances of the offense. And I've been raving about what he's been able to do this season. But then you go tonight, and at times we're just very, very reckless with the football. And I understand that there's moments where you want to take shots, and there's moments where you want to create big plays down the field. But those have to be calculated moments, not when you're trying to throw a post between 5 defenders and linebackers are dropping, not when a DB doesn't bite on a double move and he's on top of the receiver.
Yes, and the check down's wide open. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what something Carson was so good early on in his career, was just like, hey, I feel second level defenders, linebackers dropping. Let me just find my check down. And I feel like tonight was a moment of something I haven't seen a lot from him, besides maybe like the Florida game a year ago. I feel like I need to create plays down the field. And I get the offense wasn't really run the ball well. But you don't have to force it like he was doing. I think you could have done what Louisville was doing and dinking and dunking it. They did on the last drive, moved down the field, obviously had the tip ball. But yeah, I just thought he got, like I said, way too careless with the football throughout the game.
I totally agree. And it just felt like I was watching him in a Georgia uniform again. Like it felt like he was pressing and he didn't need to press. It felt like he thought that, that some of those picks, especially early, but even in the third quarter, like it was like we were 2 minutes, everything's on the line, we got to go, and I'm just like, whoa, there's a lot of game left. Like, why are we forcing this ball here and there? It was baffling, to see, because again, he had been doing so well with making the decisions, taking what the defense gives him. If the check down's there, boom, get it to him. Let's go. And I don't know. It's going to be fascinating just to hear everyone's mindset as to why, the game went the way it did, it's particularly on the Miami side. So 2 more things for Miami, and then, however you want to go here.
Yeah.
63 yards rushing. Unbelievable. Like that is horrific.
Unacceptable.
It's embarrassing. Great job by Louisville. We started with giving them their flowers, which they need to have. But Miami, have some pride, man. Like the Joe Moore Award, halftime or midseason award just came out, and you're on that list. Now I'm looking around like, what are we doing? Like, get it going, boys. But I do want to finish on a high note for Miami, and maybe we touch a little more on Louisville, whatever you want to do.
A high note on Miami, besides Tony?
Superstar. Bona fide superstar, Malachi Tony. Best freshman in the country by far. Freak show.
I mean, one of the best receivers in the country.
Yes, already.
He's not going to be a freshman All-American. He's going to be a straight-up All-American when it's all said and done this season. He is absolutely electric with the ball in his hand. So I want to finish this before we get off. Got to get some sleep before a big day tomorrow. Has your opinions of Miami changed after tonight? Do you still believe that right now, after I know it feels bad and it looked ugly, and Carson just threw 4 picks and the defense struggled at times, like, do you still believe that this is a team capable of winning a championship?
Yeah, I do. And it just stinks that the world just witnessed them have their worst game. Is this a wake-up call? Is it a, here we go, let's ride type of moment for them? Or, I don't want to say this too loudly, is it going to be like what we saw from Florida State, and they just plummet out of the sky?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I hope not. The ACC has some great teams. Louisville is a great team. And listen, we said this about Georgia, said this about Alabama, said this once upon a time about Florida State. Now we'll say it here about the Hurricanes. There are not going to be many, if any, undefeated teams going into this college football playoff. There is the most parity we have ever seen. This is going to be more like the NFL, where you're going to have some multiple losses. You're going to have some losses. And guess what? You got to figure it out. Got to figure out how to go, man. Undefeated football, I think, is done. Like, that's just, it's not going to be a thing anymore.
Besides Ohio State may, because I think part of their schedule and just how good they are.
The schedule is so easy. I mean, everybody wishes they had that right now, for sure.
Yeah, but I guarantee there's Ohio State fans saying, like, oh, it's not like Louisville's a bunch of ball busters. So I get their comeback to that one, too. So, I agree with you. Like, this is, I mean, look at last year, Ohio State, since we're top of mind. They lost 2 games. Clearly, I said this as we went to the playoffs. Ohio State's the best team in college football, talent-wise. If they are granted one of the 12 spots, they're going to win the national championship. I had them winning it because I still believe they were the most talented team, and they went and dominated and won a national championship. So I'm with you, man. Like, I think we're going to look at this season right now. There may be one team when it's all said and done that's going to be undefeated. It's going to be either Indiana or Ohio State. Winner of the Big Ten championship game is going to be undefeated. But other than that, you're going to have everyone else will be 1, 2, and then you may have 1 or 2 3-loss teams in the playoffs. And those 3-loss teams, those 2-loss teams will be good enough still to win a national championship, just like Ohio State did as a 2-loss team last year, which I love it, man. I think it's good for college football, because we get nights like this where a number 2 team could still go down to an unranked team. And it's funny. We had my coaches meetings today with TCU, and that's exactly what Sonny Dykes and the coaching staff were telling us. Like, the parity in college football right now, especially like obviously them talking about the Big 12, is unreal. Yeah. They're like, we all see it as coaches. Like, anyone can beat anyone on any given day. And I was like, this is awesome. Yeah, this is great. Awesome. It's great for the game.
And I think we have to rewire ourselves as consumers a little bit here too, to understand that, and to know, like, it's not over for any of these teams. Miami, Oregon, Georgia, Bama, like, it's fine. And maybe 2-loss, and maybe 3-loss, like we just kind of said there. So I'm all for it. Now, again, it stinks in the moment for all these Canes fans tuning in right now. But
I'm with you. I still think I think they're championship caliber. I'll
exactly.
end it with
no question.
Miami is still, to me, has everything you want to win a championship.
Yes.
And I'm hoping this is more of wake up call. We are not invincible.
Right.
Um, and we can get got. And we got to
Yeah.
make sure we get back to being the Miami team we were to start the season, winning lines
Yeah.
of scrimmages, running the
Yeah.
football, and then protecting the football as well. Because I do
No
believe
doubt.
they are one of the best. I would still put them top 2, top 3 teams in America when it's all said and done. So
No question.
appreciate y'all. We enjoy your Saturday. We'll be back with more live. We may do a live show tomorrow night, depending on our schedules. If not, we will be with you first thing Sunday morning for our full recap show. Appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, all that. Got lots of good content. I may wake up early tomorrow and do a little Carson Beck film review. So make sure you subscribe so you get the notification when that comes out. Until then, get some sleep tonight, and y'all enjoy another great Saturday of college football.